We all know what ozone is. For 10 years, we are actually harming ozone. But ozone is a good material for us. It is protecting us from any rays, and it is very important it's very important to protect us. And as you know, O3. And there's O2, which is the sister of it, is the oxygen. The difference here is that 2 oxygen molecules here in ozone, there are 3 oxygen molecules. And they are also known as 3 atoms of molecules. There's also the ozone that is also implanted into the blood, so that to regenerate the body. So this is the same ozone. It's no difference than the others. Very interestingly, in order to produce ozone, you do not have to have any kind of a material. Ozone can use the oxygen and thus can produce ozone. The production of ozone and later on the maintenance of it is so minimized that after your first investment you do not need to have any other operating investments at all. Now, how can we actually produce ozone? We take oxygen, O2, and then we put it to an electrical magnetic area, and then we divide it into 2. It's O1 and O1, let's say. Then with O2, it is combined. After combining with the oxygen atoms, then we receive 3 oxygens, which is O3. Then there is no ozone on the air. It has a period of time like 20 minutes, half an hour. It is fragmented and then converts to oxygen once again. That's very simple. Ozone is found by the sea after rain. There's a nice scent after rain. That is ozone, actually. And what does it produce? It's produced by storm, electricity, and electricity combines together with oxygen, and it brings you a nice, very scent due to ozone. And in this ozone is a real disinfectant on the other side, is what I want to say about it. We have 2 application methods. With a machine, in the air environment, you can put the systems. As you know, in these air environments, there are plenty of hotels and plenty of public areas. We have this climate, a few amount of ozone is put into the ACs in order to actually clean the weather and clean the environment. That means that sometimes we feel it as a scent as well. It smells because, and we understand that it's actually disinfected with ozone. And you can also produce ozone, and with a diffuser, if you put it on the water, you get millions of ozone into the water, and that can create that is a very good material for you to disinfect actually anything of the surroundings. We know the smell, the VOC smells, odors. It has a very long chains. They have very long chains. And ozone, it's not covering over it. It's not a spray at all. Ozone, because when we say spray, it gives a coating, but later on, that scent is diminished, and then you face again with the odor that you do not like. But here, ozone can actually fragment and break the odor and can actually diminish it. Will create a different structure and will provide more lighter and more innocent molecules which are friendly to our health. And since we do not like the odor in the environment, it also fragments and separates the bad odor. And on the other side, with ozone, it is also possible to come over the bacteria as well. We use it for creating hygiene. So these are real pictures taken by an atom microscope. You can see the bacteria cell here. By giving ozone, it is provided that the ozone is totally disseminated and distributed into the bacteria. On the third picture, you can see here that the ozone gets into the cell wall, and 4 and 5, you can see here that the bacteria cell is oxidized, and in the 6th part, you can see that the molecule, the bacteria, is cracked. It takes 20 minutes so that the bacteria is diminished as well. So it can, in 20 minutes, is all as possible. This is actually the war with the bacteria of ozone. Now, the Pennsylvania University has made a research on 1998 about ozone to be used in hygiene. Actually, more than 100 years, ozone has already been used because it is actually killing the microbes and bacteria, and is also fragmenting any organic dirt around. So, on 1998, the Pennsylvania University has made a research, and in this article, they made a research on the feature of ozone to diminish the bacteria, the microbes in water. So, what will happen actually when they put ozone inside the water? That's what I wanted to see. In 15 seconds, the bacteria is diminished in an instance, actually, and you can see here the process. The white ones are the microbes or the bacteria, or the culture is unwanted, and through time, in 15 seconds, by giving ozone into the water, it is totally cleaned up. These are E. coli, Escherichia coli, E. coli. Staphylococcus is as well another bacteria that we know. Both of them are cleaned in the environment. Ozone is 99% successful in bacterial areas. And I'm going to talk about some certain examples of this as well. Let's talk a little bit about the air in the environmental air. That VOC, the strains, and on the other hand, how can you come over the ambient about this? And how can we come over this problem? So the organic odors are due to molds, bacteria, and on the other hand, microorganisms that can sicken people. In schools and kindergartens and mosques, you can apply it. And in the dressing rooms of the companies, and also you can make a hygienic environment with ozone. In 20 minutes, you can open up the machine and clean the ambient. On the other side, the lunch halls are also very much important because a certain odor in the cooking area with special apparatuses you can actually prevent the odors to go to the in-house chambers, rooms. And service buses and vegetables and fruits, transport vehicles, with a certain amount of ozone, this is possible to actually keep the fruits and vegetables healthy, and on the other hand, freezing and also food keeping in patisseries, etc., can actually are the areas where we can use the ozone. bakery are as well involved in it. So, by using ozone water, flesh, meat, or chicken, or fish, any type of food like that have a longer shelf life when used ozone. The vegetables, fruits, and salad materials can be disinfected because we are consuming them in a raw way. So it also prevents the vegetables or the fruits to be rotten, and it also actually prevents the chemical fertilizers or pesticides that is over the fruits and vegetables. As you know, here strawberry and a green salad actually can be rotten in the meantime. So if you use water with ozone, you can see here the difference. 7 days after being rinsed and refrigerated in a sealed container. Here, on the other hand, this is cleaned up with normal water. This one is cleaned with ozone water. You can see how shiny they are. There's small pieces and small samples to show you. So that's important. Ozone and every chemical, of course, we have some certain levels. The World International Ozone Industrialists Union says that the level of ozone can be 0.11 ppm to 10 hours. United States has 0.10 ppm to 8 hours. Germany, France, and Japan is at 0.10 ppm 8 hours. And China gives the allowance of 0.15 ppm and 8 hours. Now, the most important thing here is in the composite sector. How can we use this in the composite sector? During manufacturing, there are citrons or paints or vernics. They all are, of course, heavier than the air, and that's the reason why they fall down to the basement. So we can use these ozone applications as well in these environments. After the Ministry of Environment, is asking some certain applications to be done immediately for health, like in sectors, like in polyester, button manufacturing production areas, companies, polyester tank and storage manufacturers, polyester tabs and sink manufacturers, and fiber boat manufacturers. The Ministry of Labor is giving the maximum limits. So acetone, these are 1000 ppm, which are actually allowed maximally, has already been published on August, and we have also this information with you, and you can also take a look at this on the website. You can easily find it out if you want to learn about the limits. In the same official gazette, one of the important things here is the employees. The risk. The companies have to take any kind of intervention to keep their laborers safe. So the Ministry of Environment is not coming with tools and they come inside and say, no, there's an odor here, it's a citron here, say. And there's an important issue here. Those who come to audit the factories, if they can also feel it with their nose, it has an actual chemical name for that, a language for that. if they feel it by nose and if they feel themselves bad, that is a negative recording for the company. And I suppose they are trying to take it out because everybody's actually sense towards feeling the odor might be different. And of course we have this, as for from ILO, we have of course new supervisions coming out. If there might occur that a laborer is complaining, a complaint coming from a labor creates your environment and your surroundings and premises to be audited immediately by the authorities. And then employees have to make the analysis and also the calculations of any kind of chemicals that are used in the premises. And our company as well, is also making the test and analysis as well to find out the appropriate ozone amount in your ambient area, and where and how they are going to put the machines, and how you are going to form it, and how should be the level, what would be the level of citran, is some certain areas, some certain fields that we are here for you in order to support you, and we're delivering you all the whole information. And we can do these calculations anytime you wish. Now here you might say that, okay, these are reactions, these are the reaction. What is the reactions towards ozone here? These are the most important ones. Whatever the product might be, it can be organic-based, carbon-based, doesn't matter. Carbon, in the end, carbon dioxide, water, and oxygen is found out. So there is no waste that can harm neither you, your company, nor your employees, your laborers, your staff. The odor, the resource of the odor is diminished, and it disinfects the premises. As for the reaction with citran, citran is carbon dioxide, water, and oxygen. Citran is not important for us, of course. Now there's a question. It's an important question. These issues also are delivered on an international level. You are making a manufacturing, and you need to have a citran. You're making. So what does ozone do to my citran? So we are actually diminishing. We are. The citran vapor is taken out. Actually, we are not dealing with the vapor. Is giving the premises harm, and that evaporation should be actually prevented. We have made some tests. And we have put 3 coatings of 450 grams of square meters of E-glass and orthophytalic polyester and laminated it. A 1A laminated product has been actually produced in an area in the premises where there's no ozone. In 2A laminate, we have actually put on the ozone on the mold, and on 3A we have given the ozone from 30 meter. We have given the ozone on the product 30 centimeters away. So this is the BOC tool and device. With these kinds of devices, we are actually calculating the situation of your premises. And this is the way how we are actually applying on 1A laminate. As you can see, this is a distribution apparatus, and there are also different types of systems as such. This is 1 meter away, and there is an ozone flow. And this is a 2A laminate, and the ozone VOC calculation device is active. And you can see here with the green light, red light that there is a citrin. We are making a testing for that. And this is a very close application. We are 30 centimeters close to the product that we are applying our ozone. As for details, the ozone doesn't make any harm to the mechanics of the layers at all. And outside, our friend is going to give you this presentation, and you have the possibility to check out all the numbers and how are we actually installing how do we install the systems. First of all, we have to take a look we have to calculate the cubic meters of the premises and how much ozone is needed. Of course, we are calculating the citrin and what ppm ozone should be given under which circumstances is calculated, and these are the machines that can be programmed 24/7. You can program 24/7, and when you are not there even, it can continue cleaning the environment easily. So according to our calculation, with 1 or 2, we have made the distribution. This is the ozone production box, and these are the distribution box. And that is the automotive production premise here. As you can see, the calculations are very high, and the Ministry of Environment is coming for an audit, and we have made for them this application. It's a very closed and small area here. The VOC is affecting the laborers. The Minister of the Environment, the auditor coming from the Ministry of Environment just got into the room and immediately got out, and they gave only 1 week to clean that environment. This is a button production area, button factory, and calculations and installations are completed maximum in 1 week. So in your next audit, when needed, then you can be prepared for that audit. And this is another factory, and it's a manual layup, and on the other hand, the auditor is coming and making the calculations, and they see that there is quite a lot of citrate, and in 1 week, these types of installations have been implemented here on the premises, so that in the next audit, it is understood that the actually levels are in its limits. The VOC levels are 350 to 400 ppm, and from that it is decreased down to 70 to 90 ppm. And what about odor? It's not possible to actually overcome that odor because it's a place where you constantly produce citrine. This is an SMC BMC factory. Again, there is an audit going on there. We had the opportunity to decrease the amount from 100 to 150 ppm down to 70 to 90 ppm. And again, we have also these pipes, these air pipes. We are creating a vortex here so that actually the amount of citrine leaves the area. Wastewater, we are using this on wastewater as well. We are making some establishments accordingly. In order to actually clean the waste inside and the dirt, we have also some small projects as such, and we have as well big projects. What about devices?
So based on how much ozone you want to receive, this will vary. These are samples. These are porto machines. They're mobile. They're usually used for households, schools, hotels, also other environments where they need to be moved from time to time. These produce approximately 300 milligrams of ozone per hour. We use them for car washes, etc. In car washes, etc. And in Istanbul, we have approximately 50 of these machines being used right now, serving these purposes. They work on 12 volts or 220 volts. There was a case where a tank of cheese was emptied in the vehicle. There was no way to use any disinfectants to remove the stain and the odor. We applied this practice for 3 hours here, and each week we worked on the vehicle, and with this small machine it was possible to, in 3 weeks, overcome the problem. This is a bigger machine. These are programmable machines, and on the machines, actually, after the programming, you will see at the back of them there is a 724 programming apparatus. This is for manual programming, which is up to 20 to 40 minutes. These are bigger capacity machines that can generate up to 2,000 milligrams of ozone, and they consume 100 watts of energy, and their electricity feed is by 12 to 220 volts. They are portable. Once you get these, it will give you hygiene, it will deodorize the environment, and in whatever environment you use it for 8,000 hours, you will not need to service it. These apparatus you see here will enable you to put this in places where it's really difficult to use anything else. You can also use a pipe for this purpose. This is an industrial type device. This has an ozone generation capacity of 900 to 800 milligrams per hour. It consumes 100 watts and it can be programmed 724, and it has a 220 V electrical feed-in. During lunchtime or when you have a free time, you can program it, and you can make sure that it will clear the environment when the environment is empty, when it's not occupied by people, or after work in evening hours. It can be programmed to clean the environment. This is another environment. These are, of course, you can do on and off, or you can program it anytime you like. You have two options. The production is done along with PGS, who is our PCS, I apologize, who is our partner. Their owner is also the management person, Mehmet Bey. He bears these certificates. About the practices, it's also possible to use these in households. Sometimes it's really difficult to clean some carpets because they are very prone to have germs in them. So for carpets and beds, we have services. So actually, your beds can be placed in an ozone bag every 6 months, and after 1 hour of running the machine, we have a special machine for this, not one of these, you can eliminate all the germs. Likewise, your carpets or your living environment can be sanitized. For instance, if you cook, for instance, one household cooked chicken in the house, and then it was cooking for a very long time, but after this they couldn't use the house for 3 days. It was possible to put the family back in the house after 2 hours of running our machines. So we have many examples to our references, and these are our resources. If you have any questions, you can ask me or Mehmet Bey any technical questions that you would like to. We will be very happy to answer any questions you might have. Thank you. Microphone, please. The gentleman in the front.
Polin Su Parkları Çağrı Duygu Kalite Müdürü.
Polin Su Parkları,
Biz
Çağrı
bu,
Duygu, Quality Manager.
ozon sistemleriyle ilgili bazı pilot uygulamalar yapıyoruz.
We are doing some
Fakat
pilot
tabii bunlar yeni
practices
sistemler
regarding
olduğu için,
ozone
belli
practices,
denetçilerimiz-
but these are
denetçiler de
new
hem biz hem
systems,
onlar,
and there are auditors,
bu ozon sistemlerinin insan sağlığına
and they are
etkileri,
concerned
olumsuz
about
etkisi
the
var mı
impacts of
diye
ozone systems on
sorular soruyorlar,
human
raporlar
health.
istiyorlar
They're
bununla
asking
ilgili.
questions, they're
Tabii siz bu
asking
sunum esnasında bazı
reports
şeyler
about this.
gösterdiniz.
Of course,
Belli
during the
Amerika,
presentation, you
Avrupa'daki
showed some examples from the
şeylerin,
US, from Europe.
devletlerdeki
You gave some
üst
examples
sınırları
from
falan da
other
gösterdiniz
states,
ama
and you
bunlarla
showed
ilgili
the
böyle
higher
insan
limits
sağlığına,
as well. But about human
çalışanla
health,
aynı ortam çalışırken işte
so
ozon
regarding
cihazın çalışması insan
the
sağlığına
running of the
etkisi var
machines, for
mıdır?
instance, in the same
Maruziyet
environment where people are
etkisi
working,
nedir?
exposure,
Sonuçta
what are the
bununla ilgili
effects of
bir rapor,
exposure?
bir
So
araştırma
is there
var
a
mı? Yani
report
bunu
or any
biz
research
denetçilere
concerning
veya
the impacts on
kendimiz veya
human health?
denetçiler sorduğunda bunu
Is
nasıl
there
şey
any
yapabiliriz? Böyle
response
bir
we can
belge
give auditors when they ask
var
us?
mı?
Is there a
Evet.
certificate
Evet.
about this?
Bu çevre sağlık güvenlik alanında
About environmental health and
uluslararası kabul görmüş
security,
portatif
CEA
cihazlar,
has a
sunum
portable
içerisinde
machine that has
bahsetti.
international
El
recognition.
yaptırması kısmında kullanılan.
Earlier an example was given about
Ortamdaki ozon seviyesini ölçüyor.
hand
Biz,
manual
uygulamadan
layup
önce
workshops.
diğer tespiti
In
yapıp
this environment, this device is going to allow you to
emisyon
make
seviyelerini ölçüp,
measurements.
uyguladıktan
So
sonra
before any
ozon
practice,
seviyelerini
we
ölçüp,
make a
belirleyip
discovery
sistemi o şekilde
session
kuruyoruz.
in the environment. We find out
Bu
the
neye dayanıyor?
values, the
Uluslararası
levels, and then we set
sağlık
the system. This is based on
örgütlerinin, Dünya, Amerika ve
references
Avrupa'nın,
from
Bahreyn az önce
international
bahsettiği
health
stabil Türkiye'yi
organizations,
aşmayacak
the
şekilde
US, Europe.
garanti altına
So this
alıyoruz.
0.1
Zaten
ppm should not be
ortamda,
exceeded. That should be guaranteed.
asitler gibi diğer
If there are
emisyonlar
styrene
yoğun
and
olduğu
other
yetersiz
volatile
kaldırım
gas
gruplar bile
emissions in the
oluyor.
environment,
Ozon.
there are even
Yani ozonu
cases
göz
where
alamıyorsunuz
ozone
zaten.
is
O
not
alanda hiçbir
sufficient.
ilişkiniz yok.
There is
Tüm
no
konularda
risk.
sizin arzu etmiş olduğunuz raporsal şeylerimiz bizde mevcut.
Of course, some
Onları
reports,
zaten
we have
bildiğim
some
kadarıyla
reports,
sizlerle de bir
and
çalışmamız var. O çalışmaların
we are already, I
kaynağında
guess,
biz
working
ya
with
direkt
you.
olarak size bir
So
sonuçlarını da
we will
aktarabiliriz. Öyle bir rapor
either be
halinde de
giving you
uluslararası
a
raporlarını da,
report,
tedarik edebiliriz.
we
Onlar
can
Çevre
give you
Bakanlığı şu an
international
bilmediği
reports
için
as
çok
well.
sorularla
The
karşılaşıyorsunuz
Ministry of
ama
Environment doesn't know
ozonun
much about this,
tabii
so
ki
you are
zararı
coming
var.
across
Şimdi
many
bakın,
questions.
yani
Of
her
course,
şeyin
ozone
arseniğin de
has
zararı var ama arseniğin
many
aspirin de arsenik var. Ne
hazards.
kadar damardan aldığınıza
Arsenic
bağlı.
also
Yani
has hazards,
milyonda
but it's
kaç
also
ppm arsenik
found in
veriyorsunuz?
aspirin.
Aşmayacak şekilde.
So
Ama
it depends
rapor
on
istediğiniz
the
şekilde biz o
amount,
raporları bir şekilde
the
size sağlarız.
dosage. So we are
Uluslararası
going to
raporları
provide
mutlaka
you with
sağlarız.
any reports that
Hocam,
you would like, international
bu
reports.
bir tesis gösterdiniz. İşte orada
You
bir
showed
çevre
a
müdürlüğünden
facility
gelmiş
where
şikayet sebebiyle.
there was
Orada bir
someone
ölçüm
coming from
yapmışsınız.
the
Sonra
Ministry of
tekrar
Environment
ölçmüşsünüz
because there was a
uygulamadan
complaint.
sonra.
You made a measurement
Peki
there, and then
mesela
you
bizim
calculated
çevre
once again
müdürlüğünden
after the
geldiğinde hiçbir
after the
denetçinin
practice.
elinde öyle bir ölçüm cihazı olmuyor.
Of course,
Direkt
when we are
bu
visited
şeye
by
göre,
auditors,
koku
they don't
alma
have measurement
kabiliyetlerine
devices.
göre
It's just
şey
based
yapıyor.
on their
Orada
sense of smell.
o
So
değerler
they smell the
düşerken aynı
environment and then
zamanda
they decide.
ortamdaki
Unfortunately, yes.
kokuda da bir
So
şey oluyor
when
mu yoksa
the
bu sadece
values
sayısal
are
değer
lower,
olarak mı
is there
ortaya
also a
çıkıyor?
change
Çünkü
in the
sayısal
smell,
olarak
or
bir
is this
şeyleri
only a numeric value?
göstermek
Because
sizde dediniz ya
showing
yeterli
something
gelmiyor.
numerically
Yani
is
o
not sufficient,
şeyi var.
as you discussed earlier.
Hissedilebilme,
So
kokuyu
there is
hissetme oranına çok dikkat ediyorlar
also this
denetçiler.
ability to sense
O konuda da
a
böyle
smell in the
mesela orada
environment.
5'te 1'e falan
Auditors
düşmüştü
base everything on
değer.
this. Earlier you gave an example, it was
Yani
one
sonraki
fifth. Yes,
denetlemede
it was
o,
down
bir
from
rahatsızlık
130 to
oluşmadı o
60.
zaman.
Yok,
So
hayır,
there was no
onlardan
problem
sonraki
in the next
devam ediyor.
audit?
Şöyle bir durum
No,
var.
there was no
Dediğiniz gibi
problem.
bununla
They
koku almaya başlıyorlar.
kept
İlk
on.
girişte ellerinde böyle bir
Yeah, as I
makine
said, they don't have any
yok.
machinery.
Olay
They don't have
şöyle
decide
oluyor. Bizler aslında bu
devices.
sektörün
They're just
kişileri
smelling the environment. Well,
biz
we
eğer
people say we are
%60
used to
indiği
this
zaman azalmış
smell.
olabiliyoruz.
So when
Çok
it's
güzel
down
ama
from
onlar
100 to
strenlenmiş
60,
bir
we
akrabalık
say,
oluyor.
there
İlk
is no
gördük,
smell, there
60'ı
is
da
little
görseler
smell.
yükseltecek.
This is wonderful.
Yani
But
50'yi de
you
görseler
know,
yükseltecek.
they don't have
Orada
anything to do with
sizin
styrene. So
birazcık
even if
ucuzluğu
they
da
see
olsa yine
50 or
çok
60,
yükselecek.
they will still
Buradaki
say
ölçüm
this is
şu
too
anda
high. Even if there
ellerindeki
is,
cihaz eksikliği
low
nedeniyle
degree
cevaba
of
gelemiyor.
volatile gas in the
Bir tek
environment, they will be
yaptıkları
disturbed by it.
VOC baca
But they are not
gazlarını
coming with
o da fabrikaların
devices
baca
or
gazları, özel
machines.
sistemlerle ilgili.
Only only when
bu
it
tür
comes to
şikayet
VOC
üzerine geldiklerinde ne oluyor burada şeklinde gelerek bunları
gases,
bertaraf
then
etmeye
they
çalışıyorlar.
will
Burada
be
yapabileceğimiz
coming
bizim bu,
based on complaints,
kalibre
and then
edilmiş
they will be
resmi bir
asking
makinedir.
what is
Bizim
happening here.
vereceğimiz
So
bir
this
rapor
is an
onların
official
tarafından kabul edilebiliyorsa,
machine
bak,
that should be
yüzden şuraya
used.
indirilmiş,
What should be
burada da
used
sağlık
here is an
kuralları var.
official
Bu da
machine,
geçerlidir.
and then we
Deniliyorsa
should be able to
yapabileceğimiz
tell
sizin
them,
şunlar.
these are,
Onların elinde makine
based
olmadığı
on
için tek
rules
makine bu tür
regarding
makineler
health.
biz özel sektörün
But since they
elinde
don't have these
olduğu için
machines,
yapabileceğimiz
the machines
sizlere
are only
belirli
held by the
raporları
private sector, so we
sunun.
can only
Çünkü
give
bu
this
çalıştığımız
report to
laboratuvarlar
prove
da var.
the
O
situation, because we
laboratuvarlar
also work with
vasıtasıyla
labs,
bu
and
raporu
those
size
labs will
vereceğiz.
enable
Ve
us to
gelen
give these
Çevre
reports,
Bakanlığı'na bu
and then
raporları
you can
sunarsınız.
give the
Ama yine
Ministry
de
of
şeye bakıyorlar.
Environment
Yani burada
people these reports, but then
Koku var
they
mı
will
diye
still be
bakıyor.
checking whether
Bir
there is a
dostumuz,
smell in the environment.
şöyle bir
A
hikayemiz
friend of
oldu.
ours,
Bilmiyorum
well,
hangi
I don't
şeyde,
know
fabrikada
what
hatırlayamadım.
factory it was, but
Ramazan günü
in
gelmiş,
Ramadan,
Ramazan'da
someone
gelmiş,
came
açmış.
and he was hungry.
Stresi de çok yüksek.
And he
kilosu
was
çok
very
fazla dedi,
stressed,
çıkmış
and he
gitmiş.
said, it's really high
Sonradan
here.
gelmiş.
And then he came back and he said, well, good, you made progress, bravo, there's no
kavramı
problem
yani
now.
subjektif
So it's
bir
actually a
sayısal.
subjective
Yönetmelik
concept,
başlıyor.
but the
Yönetmelik
regulation
denetimlerde
allows that. The regulation says, whether it's sensed by
yaşıyoruz da biz
smell.
o konuda, o yüzden bir sorayım
So
dedim.
your
Ama
nose is the,
rakamsal olarak mutlaka
about what you
biz
rely
kendi
upon,
adımıza
based on
ifade ederiz.
regulations as
Resmi,
well.
gayri
But
resmi
we are
bir
having
raporla
problems
bu ifade
regarding
edilir.
expressing
Çünkü
these in
elimizdeki
quantity.
kalibre edilmiş, uluslararası tarafından kabul edilmiş bir
Because
ölçütler.
we are talking about a
ederim.
measurement device that we have, which is calibrated, and it is based on international practice.
Evet.
My question will be about stack gas or waste gas.
Tamam. Baca gazı ile ilgili
About
sorum
stack
şu şekilde. Siz
gas,
az önce 0,1
I have a question.
ppm'i,
Earlier you said
kişisel
0.1
maruziyet olarak
ppm
verdiniz sanıyorum.
Yaşam alanları için.
Yaşam alanları
would
için.
be
Baca
for households or
gazında
living areas
öyle bir
personal
sınırlamamız
exposure
yok ama
limit.
şunu merak
For stack
ediyorum.
gas, we don't have
Oradaki
such a limitation,
bilgiye
but
bağlı
I'm
olarak
asking whether the flow rate here,
ozonun maksimum ne verebiliyoruz? Yani
well,
e,
what would be the maximum degree of ozone?
yüksek oranda bir gaz çıkışınız olabiliyor.
Because there
Yani
can be
her
a high
zaman
degree of
aynı
flow
çıkışa
rate
ihtiyacınız
from time to time.
her zaman aynı çıkışı değil, daha yüksek çıkışlar için
From
de
time to time,
ozon ihtiyacı oluşabiliyor.
there can be a requirement of ozone at higher flow rates. I thought you said you couldn't get more ozone in these cases. Sometimes, based on the amount of styrene, you cannot reach that degree. Is that what you said earlier? That's what I thought you said, but I'm not sure. Well, I might have meant the following. Those levels, well, we will lower them, but as long as there is a resource, as long as there's a source of smell of styrene, it's not possible to go lower than that degree. It cannot be zeroed because you continue with your production. You have done your production. Let's say you have an RTM. You have received the mold and you put it out. If I apply this practice for 20 minutes, nothing will be a problem anymore.
2000-3000 gram, atıyorum 3 gram, 4 gram, 10 gram.
It can be 2,000 grams, 10 grams.
Tabii çıkışımız o.
So it is based on your absorption or your flow rate. Yes. Sometimes we create empty spaces, hollow spaces, and then we will apply ozone there. And we can be even more successful there. It is also based on the height
Ozonu sağlamada bir sıkıntımız yok.
Yok hayır.
of the stack.
10 grama kadar değil mi? 20 grama
They're
kadar.
speaking at the same time, so it's not possible to understand what they're saying.
Havuzlarında da
It can go up to 100 grams. It is also used in swimming pools. In those practices, it might be around 50 grams, 100 grams.
zaten kullanılıyor.
That's a high dosage of ozone.
Şeyinde de zaten
And also in stack, well, there's no relation to human health. So during that vortex moment, based on the concentration level of your emission, at the required dose with 10 grams, 20 grams, it's possible to reach the desired solution. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot for your participation. If you desire, you can get our product brochures, and also we have brochures about our presentation we would like to present to you. We would love to receive your business cards as we give away our brochures. Thank you very much.